Hello and welcome. Today we're going to discuss dealing with behavioral issues in the classroom. Now, first, it is important to note that most behavioral issues are caused or due to boredom. Many behavioral issues can be stopped right up front by keeping your students engaged and keeping them active. It's usually boredom that causes behavioral issues in the classroom. Now, of course, there's always those few that no matter what you do, you're going to have trouble with. And so here are 7 things to do in order to help resolve this problem. So step 1 is have clear expectations. Go over the rules, keep it simple, keep it clear, and go over them a lot. The more you go over them, the better. You cannot hold a student accountable to something they do not know or understand. So make sure you go over these rules as often as you can and make sure they're clear and simple, as I've already said. So have clear expectations. Step 2, use positive reinforcement. Praise the ones following instructions. Focus on the ones doing what you want them to be doing. For example, if I've got John in the front row who's sitting down, I could say, John, thank you for showing me that you are ready. And then all of a sudden, because you just praised that behavior, the other ones are going to start following along. And as soon as you see the other ones following along, praise them as well. Step 3, be close by. Stand near the ones misbehaving. A lot of times, if you just get close to the ones that are misbehaving, it kind of fixes itself because they don't want to be in trouble and they don't like you standing near them. So a lot of times you don't even have to say anything. You just start getting close, walk over near them, and the behavioral issue will oftentimes fix itself. So those are the first 3 steps. Both of these, or all 3 of these steps, are non-confrontational, that you don't have to work really hard. They're the first steps I would try, and hopefully that'll resolve your issues. It resolves most of the issues for me, but sometimes we just have to take it a little bit further. So if the first 3 don't work, then you're going to have to actually confront the kids, which is step 4, ask questions. And I love this because it's almost a non-confrontational way to deal with behavioral issues. Ask them questions and find out what's going on. Give them a chance to defend themselves. There might be a legit reason why something's going on. So first question I ask is, what are you supposed to be doing right now? Or are you doing what you're supposed to be doing right now? Phrase it in such a way to where they can explain that they acknowledge what you're supposed to be doing. So you're trying to find out, do you know what you're supposed to be doing here? And every time they know. I've only had one child in all my years that did not know what they were supposed to be doing. And they were like 4 years old, and it was probably legit. Every other kid in all of my plus 20 years of dealing with children, they always say, they give me the right answer. They're like, I'm supposed to be listening, or whatever it is they're supposed to be doing. So then you ask the next question. Why aren't you doing it? Like, what's stopping you from doing this? And again, it gives them an option to answer. Maybe there's a legit reason. Maybe they got to go to the bathroom and they've been holding back. Maybe they spilled something and they're trying to clean it up and all you see is this disaster over here where they're not listening. There might be a legit reason why. If that's the case, you can then address that situation, address that problem. Maybe that'll fix it and you can move on. You never know. If that is not the case, and they kind of give you the, well, I don't know, which is usually what they say, then you ask them, well, can you? And they will say yes, and now you got them confirming they can do it, so you got their word against theirs now, because if you come back, you can say, you told me you could. So once you get them to say yes, encourage them, say, awesome, I knew you could, and walk away. Hopefully, that fixes your problem. If it doesn't, take it the next step further. And that is step 5, give them ownership. Make them part of the solution of resolving the problem. And here's how you do that. You show up again, you say, hey, I thought you said you could do this, and they'll come up with whatever weird answers they have. And so you say, okay, apparently we have to do something to help this out, or apparently what you're doing isn't working. What can we do to make this work? Make them help you decide the problem solving, because this also helps them learn. They're learning to problem solve with this themselves. If they need some coaxing and some help, give it to them. But let them try to do it first. Give them ideas if they need it, but see if they can come up with ideas themselves. They're smart. They know. They usually know. If you need to bring some ideas, you could do something like this. Well, I think we should split you guys up. Maybe that's the next step forward. And they don't ever want that, so they'll be like, no, we can listen. We'll do it, I promise. Okay, I believe you. I'm going to walk away, and if I have to come back a third time, because that would be 3, if I have to come back again, I'm splitting you guys up, or whatever solution that you guys kind of came up with. Walk away, give them another chance. If that doesn't work, I'm like 3 strikes, you're out. So you had your third time. Come back, enforce whatever you decided to enforce, and move on from there. And hopefully that will fix your problem. Again, 90% of your behavioral issues usually are solved at this point. If it isn't, and you have to take it for another level, which I hate doing this, but sometimes you have to, you go to step 6. Step 6 is removal. Temporarily remove them from the classroom. If you can't leave the classroom, go to the far corner, but leaving the classroom makes so much more of a psychological impact on everybody. When you walk out of the room with a student because they know they're in trouble, it sets a new tone, which is the tone you want to set. So once you get them out of the room, the kids inside are freaking out. They don't have no idea what you did. And the one you pulled out now realizes, oh no, we just hit a new level here. And all you have to do is just repeat steps 4 and 5. That's it. You're just asking them again, hey, what's going on? Why aren't you able to do this? They'll tell you, maybe you'll get a little more information, come up with new strategies, and move forward with those new strategies that you guys come up with together. And again, let them know what the next level is. Say, hey, if this doesn't work, we're going to step 7, which don't tell them step 7 because I don't know what that is. You say you're going to bring in the parents, you're going to bring in an admin, a pastor, whatever that next level is for your organization. You need to bring it and you need to hold them to it. Do not give them any more chances after this. That was it. They need to know when it's done. Bring them back in, and hopefully that'll fix it. For that rare situation where you have to go to that last step, step 7, bring in the pastor, the admin, the parents. I personally prefer the parents, but each organization is different, and sometimes they don't want you to. I'm a fan of going to the parents because usually admin and stuff, they got too much to deal with. That's only more for like an immediate, like aggressive, like fighting or something that happened. But if it's just they're not paying attention, it's usually probably because we're boring teachers. But sometimes you have to bring in the parents. There might be something going on at home that would shed so much more light on the subject. So now, which is really cool, now it turns into ministry. Now you can focus on how to help them, and maybe, because we're limited on what we can do as teachers in an hour or 2 hours or whatever the time is. Now, get them involved. do something. Give them a job to do, a responsibility to help kind of guide them in the classroom. Say, hey, you know what? You're now in charge of making sure this row is going to be listening and sitting still. Or you're in charge of lighting, or you're in charge of setting up this, or helping me clean this up, or I need you on stage to help me do this if you have a stage. Whatever it is, get them involved. And again, this goes back to my very first point. If you get them active, if you get them involved, if you're getting them engaged, 99, I'm making that number up, but I really feel strongly about this, 99% of your behavioral issues will resolve themselves. But occasionally we do have those and these are the 7 steps that hopefully will help you deal with these behavioral issues and get your classrooms back to functioning normal so we can just teach and do what we love doing, and that's teach. So hopefully that was helpful for you. If you have any comments or would love to hear stories and suggestions, would love to see that. It's always good to hear feedback, and we'll catch you next time. Thank you. Bye.